I'm gonna do some fast movement and motion again. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the 360 smart camera. I did receive this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in my video description below. You can see how it comes packaged here right here in a very nice and simple retail box, walking us through some of the product specs. You can see on the front we have our model number AC1C. We have their logo and branding on the top and the bottom of the box. This is an AI-powered smart indoor security camera featuring 1080p full HD. We have two-way audio, night vision, 130 degrees field of view, and 25 FPS. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the package contents. Here are all the package contents. First up, we have your user guide and manual available in multiple languages, walking us through product features and setup, complete with the QR code you can scan to download the 360 Smart Camera app. Then they have step-by-step setup instructions with screen grabs walking you through everything you need to know. We have some more product information for you, how to install and set up everything, as well as their customer service and contact information. Next up, you can see we have our power supply right here with our USB to micro USB cable. Next up, you can see we have an adhesive pad we can use if we want to stick this somewhere, maybe on a wall for proper installation or sealing. Then you can see we have the camera itself with their logo and branding down here. We have to remove this before use to protect the lens. Here's our micro SD card slot. You can see we have our set button on the back side with our speaker. We also have our micro USB port down here. You can see that right there to power this camera. It does use Wi-Fi to connect, so it can work with your phone. You'll have to use a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. But you can see the design right here, really cool base. So we can rotate and swivel this 360 degrees. We can configure this to whatever our needs are. So that's a quick look at the camera. You can get a feel for its form factor and size. Now let's go ahead, let's plug everything in and finish setup. So now you can see got the camera plugged in and powered on. It told us it's awaiting setup. Now you can see what the mobile app looks like. When you create an account and sign in, you'll be at this home screen where we need to add a new device. So you can see in the top right-hand corner, select the plus icon, then choose the first option, add device. Now we have some Wi-Fi notification options right here. We can go ahead, you can see we can choose our setup device. In this case, it's little drop camera. Now you can see the first step is to make sure the green blinking light is blinking. So there we go. We can confirm that. It is doing that on our camera, you can see. So we have the blinking light right there. Now we can go ahead, we can select that option. Press and hold the set button until you hear a system beep. There we go, just beeped.
Awaiting wireless setup data.
It's awaiting wireless setup data right here. Beeping heard. Now we need to connect to our network, guys. At this step, make sure you connect to a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. This will not work with a 5 gigahertz network. So once you have your information entered, go ahead and select next. Once you enter your network information, you'll be at this screen. We're ready to send a sound wave or scan a QR code to set up the camera. Let's go ahead, let's try to send the sound wave.
Awaiting wireless setup data. Sound wave received. Please click next.
So there we go. It just received the sound wave. We can select next. And now you can see it's going to finish connecting it to the network. Once it connects to the network, you'll be at this screen. It should take around 30 seconds or less for it to initialize and set everything up. So we can go ahead, we can name it something different if we want, and we can select start using. So here we go. We just saved it. Now you can see we have our events option right here. Record 5-second short videos, 24/7 alarm notifications. We can select save. And now you can see it just added the smart camera for us. There we go. You can see we got a live thumbnail right there too. Now let's go ahead, let's jump right in and look at some of the camera settings within the app. So first up, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna select the play button icon. It's gonna load the camera for us. There we go, it just established a secure channel. You can see how everything looks. We have our volume option if we want to listen in. We have our record option right here. So you can see I'm recording right now. Hi, and then we can stop that. We have our phone call option with two-way audio built in. We can talk through the camera if we want. We can take a photo. Just snapped a picture right there. Then we have this arrow option. It's going to hide or show us more settings. And you can see that's our first event today. And then we have our operation settings right here too. Replay for archived footage, settings, Ultra HD, and we have HD. So I'm going to guess the standard def is 720 and the Ultra HD is going to be our 1920 by 1080p. We have an invite option right here, guys. We can invite with the QR code or phone number, family members. We can share this with our loved ones. And then we have the figure mark. We can turn that on or off if we want. That's part of the advanced AI right there, you can see. It's going to put that box around anybody's face, which is pretty cool. That will show up in the photos and videos, though. That box will be overlaid on the video, so keep that in mind. Next up, guys, let's go ahead. Let's jump right in. We can look within these options. We have that settings tab. Now we can view a lot of the device settings right here. So first up, we have our camera name, camera on or off. We can turn a schedule on if we want. This is going to shut down the camera at certain times. So you can see we can disable it for our own privacy. And then you can choose hour, minute, days of the week. Then you can see next up we have our photo and audio settings. So we can adjust the placement of the camera. Say we want to mount it to the ceiling. We can invert it then so the picture's not upside down. You can see auto switch for night vision right now, always on, always off, or automatic. Two-way audio. We have two different options here. We can use it like a phone or like a walkie-talkie. WDR mode. It's going to brighten dark areas, but may decrease photo smoothness. We can turn that on if we want. Basically to help give some backlight to dark scenes. We can switch of the camera collect sound. I believe it's supposed to be switch off the camera to collect sound. So there'll be no sound in real-time talk. You can turn that on or off. Then we have our speaker volume. And we have our camera voice prompts. We can get voice prompts depending on what we're interested in, which is nice if you don't have your phone nearby and the status of the camera has changed. And maybe you're not looking at the indicator light or you're just not aware of it. We can go back out. Then we have our invite tab again. We saw that from the previous quick setting. Then we have our events right here. So we can record events based on human movements. So we can turn that on. Days of the week, basically, we can set that for our alert time. Surveillance zones right here. So you can see on the app, we can choose the zone that we want to activate. You can't do multiple zones, so I'm going to leave it as the whole thing. So it'd be nice if we could do multiple zones right here and just highlight certain areas, but that's okay. So we're going to activate that. Basically, the whole thing is going to be the zone for us, which is fine. Sensitivity settings right here. So here's the different options: low, medium, or high. So, mouse, cat, human. That's fine. Let's do that. Loud sound notifications, we can turn that on or off. We have our event display. Do we want it to be displayed as an image or a video? Facial recognition, we can turn that on. So you can see, summarize videos of family members by facial recognition on captured videos. It'll categorize them based off your face, so you can search for your family members. Motion verification, we can turn that on or off. So the camera reports only figure-related video and avoids false alarms by smart light change and insect filter. So we have a couple different options there. If you want to set up that AI advanced facial recognition and motion verification. Crying detection, we can turn that on or off right there. If we want to detect a cry, if you want to use this as a baby monitor or a pet cam, we can do that. Here's our notification settings. We can turn motion alerts on, all notifications, important notifications only, and then full day or a certain schedule. If you get too many, you might want to schedule it out. Then you can see cloud record. We can sign up for a paid plan if we want. We also have SD card recording right here too. We can use that option. Then we can view our camera info, Wi-Fi signal strength, device information. We can update the firmware, change our Wi-Fi network. We also have some advanced settings right here. You can see time zone and status indicator. So you can hide the light. We can also unbind this camera from our account. If you want to delete the device, you can do that right there. So that's a quick look at the camera settings. Now let's go ahead, let's dive in and try this camera out and test out some of those features.
First up, you can see we're testing the two-way audio feature right here, so you guys can hear how everything's going to sound. If you're using your mobile device to communicate with someone or something that's at the receiving end of this camera, this is exactly what it's going to sound like. This is a raw audio mic test for you with the two-way audio feature.
Now you can see what it's like when we have night vision enabled. Check out the image quality right there on that camera. Look at that. I'm going to do some fast movement and motion again. It's still tracking my face. You can see how good everything looks in that low light environment. Again, look at that. Night vision is turned on. We can read everything clearly. Everything looks clear, crisp, all the detail preserved in my face as well. And we can still take photos. And we can snap a video if we want to. So we're recording a quick video. So you can see everything's working just fine with night vision turned on and enabled. Don't forget we have 3 different options for night vision: on, off, or auto. Now that we've recorded some footage with this camera, let's go ahead, let's check out a couple more features. So first thing is you can zoom. You can see we have pinch to zoom right here, so we can zoom in or out. Then since we have footage recorded now, we can go over, instead of the operations tab, we can go to the events tab. And you can see we have our alert settings right here. You can see we have a couple different events triggered. People, motion, people, and crying. And then we can go ahead, we can select one of those. And you can see we'll get our quick playback right here. So it's going to load for us. And there we go. You can see the setting that triggered it. And look at that. There's a little image of me on the screen too. So it shows the face that it captured. We can replay it. We can go to our card recordings. We can buy cloud storage as well. We can look at cloud storage in a minute. But you can see we can sort by today, all alerts. You can filter by which type, facial recognition. So you can see we can name faces too and then search. How cool is that? Check that out. It's going to show us all of the facial recognition matches for my face that is captured right there. So there's the AI in action. Pretty cool. Now let's go ahead. Let's select the cloud option. Let's go to the cloud page. We can look at the plans. So you can see we have a couple different plan options right here. Choose your device. And then what option do you want? You can see a couple different pricing plans for you, and then you can select subscribe now. So that's the cloud options. Then we have our card recordings. We can select that. I did insert a micro SD card. It's a little bit finicky to recognize the card, but it did work after a little while. And upon first use and setup, it could take a little while too for this to populate and load for you. I had to wait a while, then it worked just fine. So you can see we can go back through on our timeline, search by days. You can see we have different options depending on what we're after right here. And then we can pinch to zoom back in. And then you can see we can go to different playback options right here. You can see the time. We can do full screen. We can trim it. We can take a video recording of it right here. So you can get a feel for that. We can change playback options. So you can see the speed, 1x to 4x. And then we can view information. So you can see it's recording right now. We have 30 gigs of memory. Time recorded, you can see an initial time of recording. Once memory is full, recording will restart. So that's how it's working right now. It's continuously recording. I don't have an option to change that though. So it appears the camera is going to continuously record, and then once it's full, it's going to restart. I'm assuming that means, hopefully it means it'll restart and record from the earliest time versus the most recent for you. But you can see there's our specs for our memory card. And that's how we do it. We can just browse right here on this timeline. And we can choose our recording options, which day, that sort of thing right here. Just keep going back in time to see the previous footage. And then you can just trim the clips and anything is necessary right there. Again, card at the top. We can go to cloud again. So you can see it's going to load this page. It's not translated this time, but we saw the translated page earlier from within the app. And then we can go back to our settings right here. You can see we triggered another event. And don't forget, in the task bar of our phone, we'll get these alerts too. These notifications will come through to our mobile device. So let me share with you guys my final thoughts now after using this camera. First, I gotta say the pros are as follows. The video resolution, really clear and crisp. Not all 1080p security cameras are created equal, and I'm very impressed with the image quality coming out of this camera. Same with the night vision and the color night vision. This does phenomenal in low light environments. I cannot stress that enough. Very, very impressive to me. Also, I really like the mobile app. This has a ton of features that you don't expect in a camera at this price point. So keep that in mind. The functionality is there, very easy to use. You do not have to buy a cloud plan either. That would be a nice feature to have, but that is an additional cost. You can use a micro SD card to get great video storage and playback. Now, with that being said, I really wish we had more options to customize the video filming, so to speak. So it doesn't look like we have any options that I was able to find to disable it filming 24/7 and then rewriting the card. But again, it is nice that we have that option, then we can browse back through the footage. I kind of wish we could set it to a schedule or turn that recording feature from continuous to just motion, that sort of thing. Also, in that realm, the SD card reader for me was goofy at first. It took a couple times of me putting it in and out for the app to register, even though it was always installed every time. Also, I would say in regards to the AI functionality, I think it's really cool. And the facial recognition, I'd say, is going to be the best AI feature with this camera. In regards to the AI helping the motion sensitivity alerts, I haven't noticed a big boost or any difference from most of the other cameras on the market today in this price range. I'd say it's just so-so. Sometimes it's hit or miss. That's just very typical, again, at the very budget-friendly camera options on the market. But that facial recognition is kind of scary with how accurate it is and how cool it is and how you can actually sort from photo as well. So really a nifty feature, and it's great to have the AI functionality built into this camera. And I'm excited to see how it continues to update and improve in the future. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.